Ronell Nolan, President, CEO, Health Agents for America, coming to you live this Tuesday. I hope that you all had a wonderful Labor Day extended weekend and that everyone is ready to work really, really hard. Of course, I always have important things to share with you. And the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about is last week, HAFA, some of our agents, met with the Senate Help Committee, and they had a question for us, and I'd like to pose it to you. And we're talking about the employer market. For those agents that work in the employer market or just might have a great idea, if you had a magic wand, what would you do to the market to make it better? We're looking for a list of things that we can send over to them, possible, legislation they can file, some things that they can invest in, some things that they can learn more about. We talked a lot about HSA plans, HRA plans, ICRA plans, but what would your magic wand do? So that's your first assignment. I think that's pretty easy. Most of you probably know something off the top of your head. The second thing is I wanted to remind you that the CMS comment letters for the short-term medical, the MEC plans, and the level funded are due 9/11. So make sure to follow the instructions that I sent you. Click on the Federal Register. It doesn't have to be very extensive, can be just your thoughts. I have included a sample letter for you to send to Congress also. There's several things that we need to talk to them about. Number one, the crossover from silver to bronze that will happen for open enrollment. The fact that people will be forced to use their full tax credit whether they'd like to or not. And the proposed rules that will affect the short-term market, will affect the choice of the American people. We believe at HAFA that those Americans absolutely are intelligent enough to choose the plan that works best for them based on their needs and based on their financial situation. One thing we sent out also that's gotten a couple of emails, not a whole lot, but some, about the HAFA dues increase that went into effect September 1st. Now, full transparency, we have not increased our rates our dues in probably 10 years. And this is not to give me a raise, absolutely not. It's to give us the funding that we need to operate. I have actually taken a decrease in pay over this last several years, going through COVID and some of the reductions in things that we had in the increase in expenses. So I'm much lower than I was being paid, I'd say probably 10 years ago. But it's important that we increase our dues. It's only $23 a month if you're congressional. I hope that you think HAFA and that I'm worth $23 a month. We're not asking for a whole lot. I know there's been a couple that have questioned it, and I do want to be, fully transparent. My car is a 2015. I don't have a brand new car. I'm not driving a Mercedes. You come visit me, you will see that. I live in a very modest home. I do not do this for the money. Just know that these dues increases are necessary to, continue to operate. I am moved back into my office, so we do have expenses that we haven't had in several years with, operating an office. As you know, my mother did gift me our HAFA office, so I do own the building. However, HAFA is responsible for, utilities, things like that. So very important. If you have any questions, just reach out. You know that I'm always here to answer any questions that you have. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is you've probably kept up with some things that's happened in other associations, and the board just felt it was important to create and present a code of ethics and conduct for our members. So this is included in your Monday morning news. If you have any questions, if you can't find it, let me know and I will absolutely send it to you. But it's important that we all treat each other with respect, that we adhere to a high regard, which I know that you do, but we just felt it was important that we put that in writing. So I'm very proud of our code of ethics. I wanted to talk to you again about Crank Wheel. That is our newest partner that has a program that the first 30 days is free. And then after that, it's $15, $20 a month, something like that. It's very reasonable. But you can record your calls. You can also show your client your screen on your computer through their iPhone. So a lot of people say, well, why don't I just use Zoom? Well, there are individuals that you know that do not have a computer, nor do they know how to use Zoom. But if you sent them a link to their cell phone, they could absolutely click on the link and see that. Now, we are going to have verbiage for you, for that person to give you permission to work on their account. So that'll be your consent form. We will also have verbiage to ask that your client, is everything that we discussed to the best of your knowledge, your income, your family makeup, is that correct? Now that recording will be kept by Crankwheel for 10 years. So you absolutely will not need a consent form unless CMS changes the rules. Right now, that would be fine. It is really cool to be able to have your client look at their cell phone, you're entering in their information, and you happen to misspell their street name, and they're able to tell you, wait, no, that's not really how it's spelled. So it's really cool. But also, Crankwheel is going to create a consent form that will be part of the program, that if you'd like to have something in writing, if you'd like to kill a tree, just kidding, but it will be killing a lot of trees if CMS forces us to hold and keep consent forms. But you will have a form that you will be able to use. They are working on reviewing CMS's model form and the other forms that were given to them at the Agent Summit. So Crankwheel, definitely reasonable. First 30 days is free. You can record your calls. You can send your clients a link. They can watch as you enroll them. We will have verbiage this week. I will send you verbiage on consent paragraph. They've given you consent and attestation that the questions were correct to the best of their ability and the best of our ability. So very excited about that. Do not forget about the Power Hour. It is this Wednesday, which is tomorrow at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. We encourage you to join, to learn about some of the things that we don't talk about on the Monday Lives, that we talk about without recording, so everybody can be very candid. So we're inviting you to join tomorrow. Our host for tomorrow will be Kinetic. Keith Daw. If you were at the summit, you totally get what he offers and the fact that every member should sign up for his service and get a personal, reading of your personality and how you interact with your folks. So Keith Daw tomorrow, 2 o'clock. We are proud and honored to represent the HAFA Freedom Fighters, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. Until tomorrow, have a wonderful day.